Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. Today, I want to get into a pair that I feel like I've been waiting for a very, very long time. This is the Maniére Jordan 4. I was a huge fan of the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 3, so I want to see how this pair stacks up against those. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Maniére While You Were Sleeping Jordan 4s. So I am recording this on Friday morning. I actually took a couple of vacation days at the end of this week. It seems like towards the end of the year, I always realize, oh shoot, I have vacation I need to plug in. So I'm going to start doing that here from now until the end of the year. It's nice to have that. I like having a lot of time off around the holidays. And usually in the fall, I try to get my yard ready for winter and that kind of stuff. I got all the yard work out of the way, and I think that my wife and I might go see that new Joker movie today. So if y'all saw that, let me know what you all think about it. Probably depends on if we have time or not. We're going to have a birthday party for my son this evening. There's just a lot of cool stuff going on right now. Speaking of which, it seems like there's a lot of cool things on the horizon for the channel, so definitely stay tuned. I don't want to give any hints or clues of what's going on, but let me just tell you, I feel like the channel is about to really step in a cool new direction, and I'm really pumped up about it. I hope y'all are having a blessed week. I hope life is being good to you. If not, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep your head up. It'll all work out, I promise. Let's get to why you're all here. I feel like I have waited for this pair forever. I ordered them off the Maniére website, and I know to begin with, a lot of people were like, oh, I'm not paying the shipping, you know, they charge a whole lot extra. Well, these cost me $241 all in, including shipping and that kind of stuff, which is basically exactly what I would have paid for sneakers. I don't know if it's because of my location or what, but I think my shipping was like 16 bucks, but there was no tax or anything on top of it, which was weird. So $241, the suggested retail was $225, so I don't feel like I had to spend a whole bunch extra to get them from the Maniére website. My biggest gripe about this wasn't the shipping cost, but it was just that it felt like it took forever to get these. Part of why it felt like it was so long was because I got the alert that my shipping label was created the Monday after I made the purchase of these, and there was just no movement ever. I think even if I look now, it wouldn't say delivered, it would say label created. So for some reason, the shipping never updated on these. It did take 2 weeks to get them, which is too long in my book. However, I thought that they were still sitting at the warehouse or something. I never got an alert. Tracking never said that they were picked up or delivered to FedEx or UPS. I forget who these were shipped by. I'm still seeing that people are saying they haven't received their pairs of the Maniére Jordan 4s that they ordered from the Maniére website yet. And for those people that had to pay a bunch extra for shipping, if they're still waiting and everybody from the sneakers app has gotten their pairs, that is frustrating. But now that I got my griping out of the way, we can see that this comes in that same box that we saw for the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 3s. There's a whole series that Maniére is doing with the Jordan brand, and actually I guess Nike, they've even got a Converse coming. After this pair, I think the two pairs that I'm looking forward to the most from this series are the Air Max 95 and then the pair of Air Force Ones. I think those are the two best looking pairs that haven't released yet. One of my favorite pickups from this year so far is the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 3s. I just think those are phenomenal. They're affordable on the resale market right now, which I think is great. I love the materials and the colors, the style, everything about them. So this pair of 4s definitely had my attention. Just in case you haven't seen how the box and the presentation is on the other pairs, it opens here in the middle, and then you've got an A with the number 10 just below that. And this is kind of to commemorate their 10-year anniversary of Maniére. And then this flips up And underneath of there, you see this kind of silver or metallic looking color. Not sure if you can see that, but it's got those Maniére A's all over it. Really gives it a high-end look. And then we've also got this purple fabric that is surrounding the shoes. The shoes are also in paper, but this purple fabric surrounds it all. I would suggest that you take this purple fabric out of your shoebox. For my Maniére 3s, I already removed that purple material just because it has been bleeding on some people's pairs. These 4s are actually a lighter color and it's all suede and nubuck, so I could see that purple cloth really bleeding onto those shoes. So get that purple cloth out of there as soon as you can. Looking at the tag, it says Women's Air Jordan 4 Retro OG SP. The colors are Fossil Stone and Metallic Pewter. I grabbed a size 12. These do come in women's sizing. That is the equivalent of a men's size 10.5. There is nothing overly feminine about this shoe. There is nothing that makes this a women's shoe aside from this tag right here. And really, all Jordans are unisex. I don't know. A lot of people get hung up on that, but I don't know what to tell you about that. And I've been yapping long enough. Take a look at these absolute beauties. Once again, I feel like the pictures do not do these things justice, and they just look so premium in my opinion. It's a very elevated Jordan 4. Hey babe, what you doing? What, these? You like these?
Yeah, they're pretty.
Let me see what you're wearing. There it is. If I were a gambling man, I would say there's probably going to be at least one simpleton in the comments saying bricks, just because these are still available. I think last that I saw, you could buy these on the Maniére website, although you might be waiting until next year to get them. And I think they still have sizes of these on sneakers. A lot of people might look at that and say, oh, well then that means the shoe isn't any good. And I'm telling you, that is not the case. I think these things are dope. I love the materials on these. I love that monochromatic upper. I don't have any 4s that look like this personally, and my first impression of these is just that it's another banger. I feel like Maniére really knocked these out of the park. I think it's great that they're accessible and that people can get them easily. Before I get through this whole review and forget to mention, they came with laces that match this upper, but then they also gave us a box of flat white laces as well as a box of cream or sail laces. For now, I'll probably just leave it with the laces that match the upper of the shoe. Let me know what laces you'd throw in there. Along with the laces, it came with that same hang tag that we've been getting, as well as that cardboard tag that we saw on the Maniére 3s. And speaking of the 3s, this is the While You Were Sleeping Maniére Jordan 3. It's funny because whenever these released, I had a lot of people commenting, I'm waiting on the 4s. The 4s are way better. I'm waiting on the 4s. And I think the 4s are great, but in my opinion, I don't know if I like them quite as much as this. I'm not exaggerating when I say this might be my favorite pair of shoes this year. I know that's a bold statement and there's plenty more heat to come, but the materials, the colors, just everything about these, I can see myself wearing these a whole lot. And I feel like these will probably age much better than the 4s simply because of the materials and because they're so much darker. Let me know which one you prefer, whether it's the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 3 or the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 4. Also, let me know what While You Were Sleeping pair you're looking forward to the most. But getting into the review, we have a standard Jordan 4 tread pattern. The majority of it is just this cream or sail color. And there in the middle, you can see that in that nice dark burgundy color that Maniére uses so much, we've got the Nike branding. And then we also see more of that dark burgundy color underneath the heel and the forefoot. I really like the way that those stars look there in the front. And the majority of the traction is just herringbone that's kind of pointed all different ways. Then as we come up from that outsole, we can see that that cream or sail colored rubber wraps up to the side of the shoe. and it's met with some areas of black painted foam in the forefoot as well as at the heel. We can see that this cream color surrounds this visible air unit here in the back. I've always loved that feature. Whenever I was a kid, if your shoes had an air bubble in them, you were pretty much a made man. You pretty much had it all figured out. The paint is very neat on this pair, and also I feel like this is a material that would be really unforgiving if you got glue all over it, but I really can't speak enough of how good the QC on this pair is. Let me know if you got these, how your QC was, but I just think these came out beautifully. Coming to the front of the shoe here on the mudguard, we've got a really nice fuzzy suede, and I love that color. It matches the rest of the upper, but I really like the difference in textures that gives. The rest of the shoe appears to be pretty smooth, but I really like this nappy suede there on the front. For the base of this upper, we've got this nice light tan color. I really love how it's also monochromatic. I think it'll make these easy to match to a wide variety of outfits. The one downside that I have with this material is just, I feel like it will show dirt and grime a whole lot. So for me, I will probably keep this pair as a fair weather pair, whereas the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 3s, I feel like you could wear them in just about any kind of weather and it wouldn't mess with how they look. These, I feel like it would be easy to make them start looking dingy and that kind of thing. It's a very nice feeling material, and it's got very thick cuts. I'm not sure if you're able to see that on camera, but it does have really nice thick pieces, and it feels like a genuine material. The only QC issue that I saw on this whole pair is just on the toe box, where you could see that this heel tab was rubbing against the other shoe. On both shoes, you can see on the toe box just a couple of little lines. It's nothing big, it's not real bad or obvious, and I don't think if you're wearing them anybody would say, oh, what's wrong with the toe box? It's not bad enough for me to take points away from the shoe or anything, but I do just want to point that out. We also saw that on the White Thunder Jordan 4s, and it's very common whenever you get a pair of Jordan 4s that the heel tab of one shoe is rubbing against the toe box of the other shoe, and it makes some lines, and it just looks sometimes a little bit ashy or something. But I bet you if you took a suede brush to it or something, you probably wouldn't even be able to notice it, but I just wanted to point that out. Otherwise, the QC looks great. There's no glue, the paint's not messy, and I love the shape of these. We've got lace accents at the base and then these wings here at the top, and they are the exact same color as this upper. That also matches the netting that we have here at the base of the tongue as well as on the sides. And then we also get that color for the heel tab, and on the back in black it says Nike Air. I'm pretty sure that's black. That doesn't look like that burgundy color to me. On the top of the tongue we have more of that pale tan colored nubuck, and we have a Jumpman emblem on the right shoe. It's really neat looking. It's kind of puffed up and it's a little bit shiny if the light catches it just right. I really like the way that looks, and of course it's got that flight font that we always have on 4s. On the left tag, we have the Maniére A, and again, just below that, we have that flight font, but it's the same material, the same finish, and I think that looks really cool on the top of the shoe. The top collar is very sleek feeling. It's not real puffy, and it kind of comes almost like unfinished or deconstructed looking, but it's very sharp. I really like how it looks. Have that quilted material for the sock liner. On the back of the tongue we have that cool texture that has the Maniére A's all over it if you look really close. And the right shoe has Maniére upside down on the back of the tongue, and the left shoe has Air Jordan upside down on the back of the tongue. And then our insole is that burgundy color, and that also has that texture that's made up of a whole bunch of little A's. Alright, so that was a pretty quick look at these While You Were Sleeping Jordan 4s. As I alluded to before, I really do think that I prefer the While You Were Sleeping Jordan 3s, but that being said, this is a beautiful pair of kicks. It's hard for me to understand why the White Thunders are reselling for more than this pair is and why there's higher demand for that pair. Maybe it's just because this looks more like a pair of sneakers for an adult. I don't know. But whatever it is, I don't mind it because I think these things are a phenomenal pair of kicks. Let me know what you all think about these. Let me know what your favorite pair from the While You Were Sleeping series is. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I thank you all so much for tuning in, and I greatly appreciate all the support you give the channel. There's a lot of cool stuff to come, so stay tuned. I will catch you all on the next one. I'm out.